guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a Christmas horror review. Here we are, nearly getting through the middle of the year, and I'm going to review a Christmas film. We're going to be looking at the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, released here on Studio Canal. So let's have a little look at the edition. So here we are, guys. Here is the new physical release of the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, released on Studio Canal. It comes in a slipcase. The same picture and information on the reverse of the slipcase and the box. Strange to see this actually out on Studio Canal. I thought it would have been a more mainstream company. So we have the disc inside on Blu-ray and a little advert there for Studio Canal Presents. I'm not sure if this has had a 4K release. It may well have, but I picked up the Blu-ray. And that is the new physical release of Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. So it's quite a nice addition for Studio Canal, so that's pretty cool. But is there any special features on the film? So here we are on the main menu for Silent Night, Deadly Night. Special features on this disc are unwrapping a new legacy. And that is the special features in your setup. You do have 5.1, you have 2.0, and you have subtitles. And that, guys, is your special features on Silent Night, Deadly Night. Well, it looks like there's a making of on there, but that's about it. Nothing else. But to be honest, it's still better than a lot of other sort of generic releases that we get. So let's have a look at the story. So this is a remake, not a reboot, a remake of sorts, because it does take the premise of the first sort of film at the beginning, where we see our main character Billy as a young little kid, and he's with his parents visiting his grandparent, his grandfather at this nursing home. And his grandfather tells him about Christmas, about being naughty and nice sort of thing, just like the original. And his grandfather dies. He's being killed by this old people's home. The people working there have killed him for his sort of like inheritance. They made him sign an agreement that you hand everything over to them. Anyway, like in the original, Billy and his parents then make their way away from on their way home at Christmas time, and they stop at a traffic lights. A car bumps into the back of them. The dad gets out to see who it is and gets shot, killed. And then the guy gets out the car dressed as Santa and comes over and kills Billy's mum. and Billy's mum manages to kill him at the same time, and Billy comes out the car and grabs it. This is where it gets a bit different to the original. He grabs the Santa's hand, and the spirit of the Santa comes in to Billy. Now, the Santa, his name is Charlie. He's played by Mark Axon, and he plays like the voice that Billy hears throughout the film. And now we're like 18 years later, or no, a bit older than that, probably 20 odd years later, and Billy's now grown up, and he's played by Rowan Campbell. And he goes to this local town because he's already in his serial killer ways. Now, in the original, he's in an orphanage, isn't he? And he goes to get a job when he's older at this toy shop. And the story progresses there. But at this point, he's already a serial killer. But he's a good serial killer. He only kills naughty people, which is kind of quite a cool premise in a way. all the kills that he does in the film are people that are horrible and evil. So he's already killing people, and he's come to this little town, and there he meets Pamela, and Pamela's played by the beautiful Ruby Modine, and she works at her dad's shop, his name is Dean, and he's played by David Lawrence Brown. And she's being pestered by the local police officer called Max, played by David Tomlinson, and he turns out to be attached to this child kidnapper called the Snatcher, who's played by Eric Atherell. All these sort of criminals are being sniffed out by Billy while he's there. Now, Pamela, she's got this sort of love for serial killers and stuff like that, and she is quite explosive herself. There's one point where she's at this ice hockey kid, and these other kids are picking on this kid, and she rushes onto the ice and beats them all up. So she is quite aggressive as it is, so they kind of suit each other, and they fall in love. Although Charlie keeps telling Billy not to do it, but then Charlie comes around and realizes that maybe Pamela is what he's looking for. And in the film, Pamela's dad succumbs to his end, because there's this the Christmas, the build up to Christmas. Billy has to kill someone every day, someone who's naughty, and he misses one day, and when that happens, someone good dies, and this time Dean dies, Pamela's dad, and then Pamela and Billy are searching for the killer of her dad, but uncover this other thing that's happening with these children. Final verdict. So although this does sort of similar to the original, I like that it veers off a little bit different. I'm going to score it an excellent watch and give it an 8.5 out of 10, near enough a 9. I didn't give it a 9 just because there is a couple of things that it lacks. We'll get to them in a minute. But first of all, the pluses of the edition, it looks amazing. It looks wonderful. It's really, really cool. And there is some quite cool deaths in there. And we meet some very bizarre characters. We meet Delphine Anderson, played by Sharon Badgen. She's like a Nazi. And we meet all these weird people throughout the film. And that's really cool. The other good thing about it is I really like the characters of Billy and Pamela. They're just wonderful. Really, really cool. And I'm glad that it's the originality of this film there, where the serial killer's actually a good guy, is quite unreal. Like I say, he's killing Nazis, child killers and stuff like this. So it's really, really quite cool. The negative of the film, now, there's little bits of the film that sort of try to set itself out like a Tarantino film. When he's just about to kill someone, it will come up and it will say, kill Delphine or kill Max or whatever, things like that. And I didn't like that bit. I think it's taking it away from the film. We don't need that. It's a bit silly. The other negative of the film is if you look where it's made by, it's from the makers of Terrifier. It does lack the gore. There is some gore in there, but it's not as extreme. I thought it was going to be extreme, like Thanksgiving, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, which I did give a 9 out of 10. Now, if it had that quality of gore in there, I would have given it a 9 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10 film, guys. It's not an essential watch. It's a great, amazing, fun watch, and I love it. And I know it's a film that's going to grow on me over the years. And the ending does lead on to, yes, there's going to be another one. 100% there's going to be another one. But yeah, it was great fun. Really enjoyed it. I highly, highly recommend checking it out if you want the fun, popcorn, violent, gory Christmas film at this time of the year. Go for it. That's what I say. Really, really cool. Massive shout out to my lads. See you soon, guys.